Keep in mind, this podcast is meant to provide general information and is not meant to replace having your car seen or serviced at a qualified shop.
Mic check, mic check.
Hi, and welcome to Good Karma, where I hope to help you have peace of mind instead of panic when it comes to what's going on under the hood. Today, I'm going to share my conversation with Tom from West Coast Tire and Service in West LA and his new shop, Lucky's Auto Care, on Artesia Boulevard in Redondo Beach. All his information will be in the show notes. Please check it out. You would not believe how many great reviews he has. He knows so much. He's been in the business since he was a kid. It's his family business. And he was just so generous to talk with me. You would not believe how generous. I approached him about my idea to interview him for the podcast. And without having met me over email, he was super supportive and totally willing to sit down with me and to help people and talk about tires. I went down to his shop on Artesia Boulevard in Redondo Beach, and we had a really great conversation. And at the end, I went to go click some things on my computer and discovered I had never hit record. I was, needless to say, horrified. And immediately he said two things to me. He said, "You got to find a way to laugh about it." And then the next thing he said was, "Do you want to start over?" So we did. And that's the conversation you're going to hear, is the second time we went through what to know about your tires. We talk about some basic things everyone should know, what to measure, what to look for your own safety and for a smooth ride and a well-running car. And this episode is called Your Car Has a Rubber Sole, SOLE, just to show the comparison between tires and shoes. They're both there to cushion you from the road, to give you a smooth trip and a trip with good traction. So you don't want to go around slipping with your shoes or your tires. So we're going to talk about air in tires, tread on tires, and how it's important to have the same tires and the same tires in the same condition. Because you can imagine with shoes, you're not going to go around wearing two different shoes. You'll still get from A to Z, A to B or A to Z? A to B. You'll still get from A to B, but over time, you're going to wear out those shoes in weird ways, and you're going to start hurting yourself. You know, you can picture if you walk around with two different shoes, your ankles might start getting tweaked, your toes might start getting a bunion, your knees are going to start needing attention. So similar to a car, over time, if you go too long with tires that are not matching, you're going to start to develop suspension issues, and different things can go wrong that you want to just avoid, especially if it's as simple as making sure your tires are filled with air properly. Similarly, if there already are suspension or alignment issues, you might see that reflected in uneven wear of the tires. So aside from shoe comparisons, there's lots to know about tires. And so here's my conversation with Tom.
Round two.
Hi, Tom.
Hi.
Round two, because I did not hit record.
We just talked for 3 hours.
3 hours.
About tires.
I took 3 hours of this man's time, and he's kindly giving me more time.
Yes.
Thank you, Tom.
Of course. Happy to help.
Okay. So we're talking about tires today.
Yeah.
And I want people to know what's up with their tires and why they should care what's up with their tires.
Yeah. Tires are important.
So if we could talk about how to look at the age of your tire, how to check the air, and what to look for on your tread, and to know when you need new tires and how to take good care of your tires.
Yeah, let's do one at a time. So age of your tire. So there's a number on the side of your tire called the DOT number. And that's the date that the tire was, stamped and created. And so it's a 4-digit number. It's at an end of a serial number. And if it says 4019, that means it was created in the 40th week of 2019. And so manufacturers basically say after 5 years, you can't trust the integrity of the tire anymore. And so they recommend that you replace the tires after 5 years. There's probably some variance in that, because obviously, like, if it's going to explode in 5 years, they're going to make it 4 years, so
Right.
They probably could last a lot longer. And most people do, drive them after that amount of time, but that's just what the manufacturers state. And so as a tire shop, we recommend to replace tires after 5 years.
So people kind of have the idea to look at the tread, and they can look at the tread and say, oh, the tread looks fine. But if the tire is old, if they see their tire's old, just going by the tread is not good enough.
Yeah, the tread will still have wear. It'll still have grip, because the tread is rubber that hits the road, and that's how the tire grips. But if you're looking for like signs of age, it's most likely
cracks and dry rot. So like you'll see little cracks on the shoulder, which is like where the sidewall meets the tread. There'll be like a little crack that goes all the way through. And then inside the tread, you'll see like small little cracks as well. And so as those get bigger, it becomes more, susceptible to a blowout. And so that's not a good idea.
But the material itself, the rubber can start degrading.
Yeah.
Even if you can't really see it by
Yeah.
looking at the tread
Yeah.
depth.
100%. Yeah. Even a tire that's never been mounted and it's sitting in in my shop for 5 years, you'll see the rubber getting a little bad.
You can tell.
Yeah.
Even just by looking. Okay. And do you recommend people check the air in their tire rather than just waiting for the light to come on?
Yeah. I mean, if your car does have TPMS, tire pressure monitoring system, then, checking your air pressure is not nearly as important as other things like checking your alignment. But it is good practice just to double check your air pressure once in a while, whenever you get an oil change, which should be around 5,000 miles, and they should do some sort of tire maintenance, which is rotation, balance, and, checking the pressure. And then it would be a good idea if you live in LA to check the alignment as well.
And if you're putting air in your tires yourself, I didn't ask you this, is there a safe way to do it? Can people kind of hurt the little valve?
I've never really seen someone, damage the valve inside their tire stem from checking their own tire pressure, but I'm sure it's possible. I mean, don't use a bike pump. Use like, I would recommend honestly to go to like an actual tire shop because a lot of those gas stations have very poor, tire pressure gauges.
So you might be measuring it all wrong.
Yeah, I mean, it might not be able to tell you like the exact measurement, and then digital gauges work really, really well, and these days with Amazon, you can buy yourself a digital gauge real fast. So,
and it's also cheap to buy your own filler, your own electric pump.
Yeah, exactly. Especially if you have run flat tires. A lot of cars like Porsches and a lot of BMWs that have run flat tires, they come with those these days. But if you don't have one, then yeah, it's a very smart idea to have one in your car just in case.
I know it feels like every other month I'm driving over a nail. Can we talk a little bit about punctures and when they're repairable, patchable?
Yeah, so basically, as long as the patch can be flat on the inside of the tire, it's repairable. And so if it's on the shoulder or like near the sidewall, sometimes it's not repairable. But anywhere on like the 2/3 of the center of the tread, it should be repairable. Other variables are like if the tire was driven on with low pressure, there's going to be like a line that's created on the sidewall, and what that means is like the inside of the tire basically is like rubbing against itself, and it's no longer safe. The sidewall integrity is gone. Also, like there's only a certain amount of patches you can do in a tire before the structural integrity is gone. So I think it's like 3 patches before you're out and you have to buy a new tire, kind of like baseball. And then go Dodgers. And then yeah, that's the gist of it. There are some tires that aren't recommended to be patched, like run flats or silent tires are not recommended to be patched. But at my shop at West Coast, we can patch those tires. You just gotta, come in and pay a little bit extra. Your run flat tires are designed to hold the weight of the car with no air in it for up to 50 miles. And so you'll damage the tire by doing so, but you'll get yourself to safety but yeah, I mean, as long as like you keep air in the tire, we should be able to patch it.
And also for keeping safe to being able to get to your next location, the Fix Flats spray that you can buy at a parts store.
Yeah.
Those do work.
Yeah, Fix It Flat works. It seals the hole. The issue with that, there's like 2 issues. Number 1 is like it's super toxic. So for the tire mender that has to dismount it and clean it, like it's not great for them.
Right.
So make sure you tell the tire shop that you threw that stuff in there before they open it up and spray it all over themselves. And then second thing is that if it gets into the sensor, the TPMS sensor, it could damage it. So we also recommend, if you can, not to use that because sensors are expensive and you don't want to have to replace a tire and a sensor.
And is it pretty likely it would ruin the sensor?
I've definitely seen them ruin sensors before, but I've also seen them not. So
Okay.
I don't have the, statistics on it, but,
Yeah.
you know,
But it's a good so
it's
it's
a
a good
gamble.
thing to have in your car.
I think it's a good thing to have just in case you need it. It's a little can that probably costs $9 and like it's definitely helpful.
Like if
You
you're on
know?
your way to Vegas and
Yeah,
you
100%.
just make it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, can you talk a little bit about, because I also want to recommend people who are interested in doing so, keep a little spray bottle of soapy water and how you use that.
Yeah, so if you have a puncture, you would use soapy water to basically just check to see if it's leaking air. Um, you know, you definitely could have that in your car. If you do pick up a nail and you hear that like clink, clink, clink as you drive, and you check it and you see the nail, do not take it out. You can put some soapy water on it and see if it is a leak, or you can hear it. If there is a leak, take it to a tire shop, get it patched. If there's not a leak, take it to a tire shop and have them double check it. Because the last thing you want to do is take out that nail and then it starts, hissing air and then you're stuck.
Yeah, so don't even like move it around
Yeah,
to
I wouldn't.
gauge.
I wouldn't. I would just take it straight to a tire shop. Just like, oh, what is this? 'Cause most tire shops, if they have good integrity, they'll just tell you that it's not anything to worry about.
Yeah. When you're looking at your tire to see how the condition of it, you're going to look at the tread. Um, what should you be looking for?
So different tires have different wear bar indicators. Michelin does it best. They have a little Michelin man. His name's Bimdum, and he's like pointing up at the wear bar. And so most tires have wear bars that go across the tread. And as the tire wears down more, those become more flush with the top of the tread. And so when they get close to the top of the tread, it's basically letting you know that your traction level is at an all-time low and that you should replace your tire.
So like in a brand new tire when the tread is pretty thick,
You shouldn't even be able to see the bar.
yeah, and you can maybe feel it as like a little
For a brand new tire, you might not be able to
Mm.
even feel it. Um, it depends on the manufacturer. As you drive it though, it will come up and you'll be able to see it a little bit more.
And tread is super important, which for maybe more obvious reasons that it helps you grip the road.
Sure.
But the less obvious that I didn't know about is that it's important for braking distance.
Correct. Yeah, I think that's like a big reason on how tires are judged is by their braking distance. So not only how this grips in all weather or snow or, rain, but how well it stops is a huge uh variable on what makes a tire good or great.
So keeping an eye on your tires is super important for your own safety, for the health of the car. Um, and keeping the right amount of air in your tire also helps you save money, really.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, tires are the only thing that touches the ground. So you got to remember, like, you're driving a 6,000-pound SUV, and there's only 4 points that are touching the ground, and it's all the tires. And so, number one, you don't want to cheap out. You don't want to buy some low cost radial tire that was imported. You want to buy like a nice brand tire. Doesn't have to be top of line, but just something that has a warranty and has done some extensive testing, not just past DOT standards. And then, yeah, inflation is important. If there's too much air in it, you're going to, wear out the center and you're going to run through tires fast. If there's not enough air in it, you're going to wear out the edges. If your suspension is bad, your tires are going to cup and you're going to wear them out fast. If your alignment is bad, you're going to wear the insides of your tires. So tire maintenance is good for safety and good for longevity and good for your wallet.
So what else would you recommend for people to maintain their tires?
I think whenever you do oil changes, I think that it's good to get them balanced and rotated, not just rotated, but balanced as well. So balancing is when we put tires on a machine and it checks the circumference and just making sure that it's weighted correctly all the way through. And so if it's off, then we'll add like small little, you know, half an ounce weights here and there, which will balance the tire correctly. And that'll give you like a smooth roll, and it'll wear evenly. Alignment maintenance is also a really big thing, especially in LA, potholes, driving over curbs, hitting curbs when you're parallel parking. That will all put pressure on your alignment. That'll adjust the suspension a little bit at a time. And then
continuing to do that will make your tires wear unevenly. And then, rotation and air is also a huge thing. It's like, I would say that at the end of the day, just make sure you find a really good tire shop and
Establish trust with them.
established, trustworthy, family owned and operated. That's the goal.
Talking about balancing. So when you get a new tires will always have to be balanced before they're put on the car.
Correct.
No matter what. It
Correct.
could be a perfectly well-made tire. It needs to be balanced for your car. And then how can you tell what is that symptom of a bad balance? And
Vibration
in the steering wheel, you'll feel it
in the steering wheel.
at all speeds?
I mean, normally at higher speeds, you're going to feel the vibration a lot more than at lower speeds.
Okay.
If you feel the vibration in your seat, it's normally the rear. If you feel the vibration in your hands and the steering wheel, it's normally the front.
Oh, great.
So
Thank
that's a
you.
little tip.
And so a tire can become unbalanced
Yeah.
over time?
Yeah. I mean, as the tread wears unevenly, there's things called flat spots. So just imagine you're driving and then you slam on the brakes and the tires lock up and you slide, you'll create a flat spot. And that flat spot could eventually make the tire unbalanced. It could throw a weight, you hit a pothole super hard and
Yeah.
stickiness of that weight will come off.
Because those balancing weights are just little sticky metal.
Some of them are
clips.
some of them are clipped on. The old school way is clipped on. When people had steel wheels, now people have aluminum and alloy wheels, which we have little sticky weights that stick on the inside. And so also, like, say you're getting tires for the third time and the guy that took off your old weights didn't do a good job of cleaning the new area to put on the new weights. They're not sticking that well. It could for sure create not a good section, and then hit a pothole, those things pop off, and then all of a sudden you have one tire that's not balanced correctly.
Yeah, so I want people to be aware of if you feel a vibration or feel something funny going on with your car, don't just assume, oh, that's my car. That's what my car is.
Or that's how bad the roads are,
Yeah, right. So yeah, definitely bring it into a local tire
A local
place,
tire shop. Yeah.
independently owned. Can you tell us a little more about your
Sure.
shop?
My shop is called West Coast Tire and Service. My grandfather started it in 1970. It's one of the we got voted top 10 best independent shops in the country a few years back.
You have
But
an unbelievably high number of good ratings.
yeah, we had like
24.
2,400 Google reviews and I think like 1,200 Yelp reviews. And our goal is just customer service, just great customer service and transparency. And we got a lot of good dudes that have worked there for a long time, and we just want to support other communities or our community and other locally owned businesses. And these days, tons of big shops are getting bought by corporations, and it's sad to see them go. And as much as I hate competition, I also love my community of my other businesses, and so I want them to succeed. So yeah, don't go to a chain.
And tell me again your slogan or your philosophy.
So yeah, so my grandfather basically always said to treat all your customers like friends. And so at my new shop that I just opened in Redondo Beach, which is not tires, it's mostly just auto repair. It's called Lucky's. Our motto is honest work and legendary service. So that's kind of what we're going for. Just honesty and the best customer service you could ever imagine having at a auto shop. I'm here to help. I'm here to educate. I'm here to steer people in the right direction, and I'm here to help the guys that work with me, not for me, but with me, to create good lives for themselves. I want my employees to have livable wages, and I want them to be able to save money and retire and send their kids to college and experience what I've been able to experience.
Well, thank you, round two,
Yeah.
for helping me with this.
Yeah, short and sweet, but we can get a detailed one later when we got time.
Yeah, I'd love. There's so much more to talk about with tires, and you have full service shops. We could talk about so many
Whatever
more
you want.
topics. I would love it.
Yeah, sounds good.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Good to meet you.
You too. Okay, we did not talk for 3 hours, but we did have a long, unrecorded conversation. And Tom was so kind to talk more than double the amount of time he thought he was going to spend with me. I loved our conversation and I hope you got a lot out of it. Be sure to reach out to him for your next inspection, diagnosis, repair. His shops will guarantee the lowest advertised price in tires, and mention you found him through Good Karma Podcast, and they'll offer a 10% discount up to $200 on other repairs and services. So, a couple of Good Karma peace of mind pointers from today's conversation. Be sure your tires are not too old. Now that you know how to check that number at the end of the DOT number, go look for that on your tires. It's 4 digits. Sometimes it'll be in its own little rectangle, and you're looking at the week, the 2-digit week, and 2-digit year. At the 5-year mark, you really want to start looking at them. If you find your tires are over 8, 9 years old, please go get those swapped out. 2, remember, it's not just about baldness of tires, it's about the year and the sidewall condition. Check the sidewall for cracks, bulges, anything that looks out of the ordinary, go get those looked at. 3, think about keeping a spray bottle of soapy water in your car. If you do run over a nail, you can spray and see if you see bubbles coming out, and then you can gauge how urgent it is to bring your car in. Either way, do bring it into the shop. Number 4, keeping Fix-A-Flat spray in your car is a great idea for emergencies. Remembering, though, that it could damage the tire pressure monitor sensor that's inside that tire. And be sure to let them know at the shop that you did spray that in, as it's toxic when they go to take the tire off of the wheel. 5, if you feel weird vibrations after you get new tires, don't panic. Maybe it's just that it needs to be rebalanced, and bring it right back in. And 6, how about some peace of mind in your pocket? I really recommend everyone have an air pressure gauge and a tire tread gauge. They're tiny little tools the size of a pen. They're really inexpensive, really useful. Buy a bunch. Give them to your friends, spread some good karma. So if you liked today's episode, I'd love to hear from you. If there's things we didn't touch upon that you're curious about, let me know. You can reach me at Good Karma Podcast. That's karma with a C, goodkarmapodcast@gmail.com. And if you'd like to support the show, you can do that just by pressing 5 stars. You can leave a review. You can hit follow. Anything you could do that would support the podcast, I would so appreciate it. Thanks for listening. Keep up with those oil changes, and see you down the road.